Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Kha'Zix game, and this one is a very peculiar one. Because it's the first time I'm going to be purchasing Hunter's Potion and using it in a video. Thing is, I have purchased this item before, but I've never really uploaded a video where I make it a very purposeful build. Now, the reason why it's a big deal in this is because I went into this game with the intention of killing the enemy team, going in a ganking spree and just sort of pressuring that way. But I have a Cinch teammate in top lane, and you guys know how much I love having Cinch because he sort of forces the enemy team to focus on him. He gravitates their aggro towards him and lets the jungler do a lot of shit as a result. Cinch is going to be pushing the lane, being a complete and total cancer, and it's going to let me do whatever I want. The other situation at hand though is my bottom lane teammates are winning, mid lane is struggling, and it's making me think, okay, I can't really kill Fizz in a very plausible way. So I can't gank as much as I would want, probably, so I'm going to have to quasi-farm, quasi-control jungler as Kha'Zix. But the thing about Kha'Zix is that his health and sustain is in a very little narrow situation. Through every camp, he sort of loses a bit of health and a bit of mana at an alarming rate unless you maintain that somehow. Through that little rune you get for killing the big monster in a small camp, and the Hunter's Potion, you're going to be able to sustain yourself quite reasonably well and allow yourself to sort of power farm as Kha'Zix. And that's my intention here of buying the Hunter's Potion. Just farm, and move, and only look for very opportune ganks because, again, the situation has sort of changed for me. And that's one of the lessons I will sort of want to push to you in this game. If just because your intentions before going into a game or something specific like pure ganking, pure control jungling, pure whatever, if the situation changes due to something happening in the game, then don't just sort of stubbornly sit on your original intentions. Adapt to the game. Like that Hecarim game I played the other day where my opponent was Rammus who didn't take Smite. Hecarim is not a control jungler, but a very unique situation has presented itself in which anyone could possibly just absolutely smash Rammus in the jungle because he had no smite, and thus I converted Hecarim into a control jungler a little bit ad hoc there. And in this case, Kha'Zix as well. I've changed him into a control/farmer right now. I don't have to focus on kills because my teammates are sort of just controlling the game themselves, and I'm allowing myself to get big in a different sort of way. If I try to participate in any of these ganks, I might show up late and not get anything. I might make matters worse. I might get a kill, but it's just mostly going to end up in a whole lot of nothing happening. In this case, though, the opportunity presented itself because the Annie was coming down bottom, and I could have used her Tibber stun to help me kill the Draven. In this other case here, the enemy Fizz and Shen come in at us and kill the Annie and give a little bit of a chase. But thankfully, Singe responded admirably, and he was able to just sort of cause a massive disarray. Shen and Fizz did not coordinate their little re-engagement, and as such, since Shen misses his flash, gets killed. Singe continues his cancerous assault and allows us to pick up 2 more kills. Right now killing the Soraka, and then Fizz just drinking more poison and dying. That was on the massive turnabout. And then the enemy team, getting a little too greedy with us having low health, show up, the Gragas and the Draven I mean, and then proceed to give us 2 more kills. So this game is pretty much locked down, though of course this is solo queue, and the whole beautiful magic of solo queue can occur in which it doesn't matter if you have a lead, you'll still lose. But yeah, you can see I'm only going for ganks if I see the opportunity presented, rather than trying to force them as most sort of assassin-y/fighter junglers would kind of normally do. I'm going just for the farm, the sustain, and that kind of shenanigans. And it's working out well. Again, the Hunter's Potion isn't the most greatest of items in the game, but it does have a situation. Some champions want Hunter's Potion, but they don't want to, forego a different item. Only in very strict situations can it actually be useful. Someone like, again, power farming or super duper control jungling, and only on certain champions. Not every champion wants it. At most, it becomes kind of a bit of a gold dump. Either way, I forgot to mention my runes and masteries. They're a little bit more different than the normal ones I would normally take on Kha'Zix, but they are 6 armor pen red, 3 attack damage red, attack damage quints, armor yellow, 6 cooldown reduction blues, and 3 magic resistance blues. And my masteries are 12, 18, 0, taking Storm Raider Surge as my keystone mastery, so since I do a huge burst amount of damage, I can move a little bit quicker right after and just sort of chase someone down. So, anyhow, by the way, if you hear that, that's an airplane going flying by super low for some reason. Either way, again, just going out for the easy kills, just sort of farming, so robbing the enemy team of their resources as much as possible and whatnot. And I know some of you might question, Stonewall, why didn't you not get Tracker's knife if you were just going to be going control jungler? And the thing is, it's good for control jungling, but it's not really not necessarily the most necessary thing in the entire game. For some junglers or for some champions, Stalker's Blade or the Red Smite, I forget what that one's called. It's just so much better not to it's too good to pass up, right? In this case, I wanted to use a Blue Smite to add myself a little bit more burst with Kha'Zix, or to control whatever targets Singed and Braum were going after, sort of to stack the slows and then stack the CC on top of it. Again, sort of going to this very controlly team fighting situation as well. I'll pin them down, hold them down, distract them, and then hopefully me and Jin can go kill somebody very valuable and just turn the game around. And again, me constantly farming. I'm actually, for a jungler, racking up a storm of gold. 4 kills, almost 100 CS at around almost 20 minutes. That's pretty damn good for a jungler. You saw me just buy a Duskblade just completely from scratch. That's pretty massive. Oh yeah, and I also gotta talk about the boots thingy. Oh, by the way, here I tried to kill Fizz. I just completely took a leap in the dark and didn't kill him. Now it sort of turns a little bit. My teammate's getting a little bit too greedy, but Singe can do whatever the fuck he wants and achieve whatever the fuck he wants. Anyways, yeah, they try to re-engage on us. We're very low health. We end up kiting them a little bit. They're gonna give a kind of a really shoddy chase, but it's not gonna amount to anything. Anyways, the boots thing is actually something I wanted to talk about because people brought it up the other day when I was playing Jarvan, that they were getting really upset that I wasn't upgrading my boots. Now, the thing about boots is, yes, they give you more movement speed, and some of them have like a special other effect. The thing is, that doesn't really ultimately matter for some champions for a large portion of the game. Yes, mobility, extra movement speed is very useful, but sometimes on a champion that has a gap closer, you're already going to be in a position in which you just do your one combo and then you're done. It's sort of like you're like in the Jarvan game, EQ ultimate, and I kill somebody, that's it. I didn't need the extra mobility, the person's dead. I'd rather use that gold to buy my extra 2 long swords or something like that. Same thing as Kha'Zix. The mobility would definitely help, but I'm literally just jumping in there, killing somebody or hurting them really badly, and then leaving, or the team fight is sort of just one off that. Anyways, Singe got a little too crazy and ended up getting killed as a result, and now we're sort of in a position in which we're trying to just sort of find a pick-off. This is, again, solo queue in a nutshell. Despite how ridiculous of a lead we had, we're sort of struggling to sort of mesh together. I go off and kill the Draven, but my teammates really can't push right now because we need Singe's backup. So it's just a little bit slow going. Thankfully, the enemy team engaged for us, but we're not able to respond super well. The Soraka dies because of the Duskblade, I believe. Then we give chase, go after the Gragas, uses barrel to throw me off. And then the enemy team, the Fizz and the Shen, just can't really deal with the rest of my team. I like a little snipe on the Shen. We kill the Fizz, the enemy Draven re-engages. He gets chunked down for a shitload, but the rest of us are super low health. Braum goes in, Gragas comes in as well. I believe he ends up killing 2 of us. We do kill the Draven here. He gets a little too close to the Jhin for some reason, but the Gragas is able to get a revenge kill on the Jhin. Then Soraka is going to join up, forces it with the Gragas and finish off the Singed. And then I thought this part was just, I was panicking at this point. I'm like, I have no mana, I can't escape. And I somehow managed to kill him because Soraka made enough space in between her and Gragas for me to get the isolation damage and murdered him with the last Q. And then I was able to leap. That was such a close. My butthole was puckered so hard that it caused a starter collapse. Anyways. Again, you can see how the control jungling in this paid off. I'm not doubting that my bottom lane teammates did so much goddamn damage, but Jesus Christ. All right, we take Baron, and with this was pretty much a very solidified. We got a huge solidified advantage now. We kill the Gragas. We chase after the Shen, and I actually want to point this out. I talked about it before. I can't just shoot him in a straight line with my W, but because he goes in a curve, he loses distance between me and him, and it allows me to tag him with the slow and eventually catch him because Jin was able to trap him. Just a point of reference there. If you're ever escaping from somebody and they're just trying to line up their CC to hit you, do not and you're just sort of at the very tip of their CC, any movement to the left or to the right that sort of brings you in a sort of curve closer to them is going to get you killed. So don't do that. That Shen made a mistake of doing that too close to me. If he wanted to at least make more distance, he would have gone in a diagonal rather than made the circular loop. So that was his mistake, and he got killed for it. I'm pretty sure he would have died anyways because we were not going to let him escape alive, but the point still stands. Remember that, folks. Curves are deadly. Jaggedy, pointy nipples aren't. Anyways, right now we're very disorganized. Half of us are split up. The other half is fighting somewhere else. So realizing that I should stick to my team, I return to them, and we go for the inhibitors and turrets and all that other good stuff. The enemy team is just as disorganized as us, and they're splitting up, which allows us to kill them individually. Now with the Baron buff, we go for the Nexus turrets and slowly but surely kill them. Slowly but surely, you can see, because nobody's focusing on the goddamn things except the turrets and, the minions and me. Gragas comes in, causes some disruption, though I believe he is going to end up turning around once again and we finish him off. No, I guess not. Anyways, my teammates, instead of focusing the goddamn towers, are going for kills, including myself. I'm not blaming them, but this ends up leading to me getting killed. I got a little too damn greedy alongside my teammates. We were just too full of ourselves. And as a result, we get wiped out without taking the Nexus, and, prolonged this game more than it needs to be. But, that's solo queue for you. Yeah, Singe committed seppuku, so, yeah. So now, we've been aced. That's just solo queue for you, throw queue. So we have to remember that just because we kicked our ass in the early game doesn't necessarily mean we can't somehow lose in a spectacular twist of fate. So now with my first death under my belt, I'm trying to take this a bit more seriously and give them the benefit of the doubt. Anyhow, my teammates are trying to siege top, and I'm just in the sidelines poking at them, waiting for an opportunity to come by. And then I realize, why am I just even here? Look at the bottom lane, or the mid. The Nexus is completely exposed, so I just go in there and try to do something, and this sort of attracts the enemy team to come try to kill me, which allows my teammates to get the top tower, and then push through, get singed in, start pulling off Singe shenanigans, aggro them too, and now we just not slowly, but quickly encroach on them and pick them off and just generally piss them off. It's that kind of... I love Singe. I love him. He's like the jungler's best goddamn friend. So, the enemy team's defense falls apart because we exposed the one thing we should have probably been exposing in the first place. And then you get to watch the league replay sort of just die on its own. But whatever, the game is over. We won. And hooray for Kha'Zix. Alrighty guys, I've restarted my Teespring campaign and my voice check t-shirts are once again available. Click the link in the description below to take a good look at them and decide if you want to obtain one for yourself. My channel is made possible by the help of sponsors like Loot Crate and Crunchyroll and the continued support of fans like you. Click the links in the description below to check out my sponsors and make sure to give a like and leave a comment below to help stimulate the growth of the channel. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.